In 2002, Scott Doer lured 22-year-old Jeremiah Miller to a Las Vegas hotel room where a chilling murder took place. The death was ruled a homicide, with the shocking revelation that Miller's body was dismembered. Doer was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death in 2007. But that was just the beginning. Doer was not only suspected of killing Miller, but was also linked to another unsolved case. He brazenly bragged about it to a former girlfriend, but the charges were dropped due to a lack of physical evidence. Scott had his own unique perspective on justice, saying, "If someone killed someone I loved, I'd want them to have the opportunity to kill me."
And so I guess maybe I do believe to some extent in an eye for eye. I mean, I know how I would respond if somebody killed somebody I loved, and I was sure they did it.
Doer made headlines by requesting his own execution despite ongoing legal challenges. Nevada's plan to use an untested 3-drug cocktail raised concerns of a potential botched execution. Some argued that it was inhumane, but Doer was unshaken, even suggesting alternative methods like the firing squad.
Let's do this instead. Let's do that instead. You know what I mean?
There's only 2 states that have firing squad. I don't think Nevada's going to bring back firing squad.
No, I know that would be great. That would be my favorite way. That would be the way.
I know that would be your favorite way. Idiot.
Despite the drama and ethical debates,
tiered to have the state put him to death, there's just no guarantee that it would be a pain-free execution. And there are fears that it could be botched, and if that's the case, then the state will be in a lot of trouble.
Doer remained resolute in his desire to be executed.
This is personally, I'm not that concerned with it. I think once they get started, they're going to get it done one way or another. It's ideally not be terrible and painful, but if it is, I'm kind of committed at that point.
Perhaps painful or protracted executions, that has not dissuaded you from asking me to sign this warrant in this order?
It is not. Your Honor, all the people ended up dead, and that's my goal here.
Are you sure this is what you wish me to do?
I am, yes, 100% sure.
He was even willing to write letters every Sunday to reassure the judge of his commitment.
He writes you a letter every single week, just letting you know nothing has changed between now and then. I'll write it every Sunday.
In 2018, a judge approved the untested drug cocktail for his execution, but things took an unexpected turn. In early 2019, just as his execution was nearing, Scott Doer was found dead in his cell, an apparent suicide.
The Nevada death row inmate who had been awaiting his execution for over a decade has taken matters into his own hands. Scott Doer was found dead this afternoon in an apparent suicide. Doer, a convicted killer, had his execution delayed 2 times after it was caught in the middle of a legal battle between the makers of the lethal injection drug.
The convicted killer had taken matters into his own hands, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and a story that continues to intrigue and divide opinions. Next, we take you to Daytona Beach, Florida, where the courtroom turned into a chaotic battleground during the trial of Alan Miller McCarty. It all began when Alan Miller McCarty placed an anonymous, expletive-laden call to the county sheriff's office.
You calling, sir, you stupid bitch? Where's your Judge Warren at?
Claiming he had a gun and intended to shoot Circuit Judge Stacia Warren. McCarty's woes had started, and the drama was just beginning. During the call, McCarty declared his intent to report a crime about to happen and inquired about the judge's whereabouts. He boldly stated that he was armed and waiting for her.
Warhurst.
Yeah, I want to report a crime that's about to happen.
What do you mean a crime that's about to happen?
Yeah, there's about to be a crime that's going to happen if my kids don't come back to me, you stupid bitch.
McCarty continued to make threatening and abusive calls, leading to a swift police investigation and his subsequent arrest.
Because your stupid judges don't want to bring people to courtrooms, I got a gun pointed at your building.
Sir, what is going on?
Who the you calling, sir, you stupid bitch? Where's your Judge Warren?
McCarty's troubled history, including multiple felonies and a misdemeanor, played a significant role in his actions. He had previously lost custody of his children due to allegations of abuse and domestic violence, and this fueled his anger toward Judge Warren. Throughout the trial, McCarty's behavior was nothing short of explosive. He yelled, cursed, and screamed at everyone from the judge to the jury. He passionately argued that his rights were violated and his children taken away unjustly. In one shocking moment, McCarty even made a lewd proposition to Circuit Judge Matt Foxman.
What a bunch of guys, you stupid piece of then also, you threatened my life, you and the you
who responded with dignity and restraint. Despite the profanity and chaos, the judge and jury remained calm and professional. Eventually, McCarty's outbursts led to his conviction. He was sentenced to 20 years in Florida State Prison with an additional 10 days for contempt of court due to his profane behavior. It was a testament to the judge and jury's resilience. The tumultuous trial of Alan Miller McCarty, a case that tested the limits of courtroom decorum. Next, we delve into the chilling case of Stephen Lorenzo, who faced multiple homicide charges in Tampa Bay, Florida. Brace yourselves for a story of horror, collaboration, and a shocking turn of events. Our story begins with Stephen Lorenzo, facing charges for a series of gruesome murders that shook Tampa Bay, Florida. Alongside his accomplice, Scott Schweikert, they orchestrated a nightmarish plot to torture and murder Jason Galehouse and Michael Watchels nearly 2 decades ago. In December 2003, Lorenzo and Schweikert lured their victims to Lorenzo's Seminole Heights home after a night of drinking at a bar. Little did Galehouse and Watchels know that they had stepped into a house of horrors where their lives would be tragically cut short. Their cause of death was nothing short of brutal, with blunt force trauma to the head leading to homicide rulings. But the horror didn't end there. Lorenzo and Schweikert used an electric saw to dismember the victims, disposing of their remains throughout Tampa. In 2006, Lorenzo received a 200-year sentence for related crimes, spending the last 5 years in Hillsborough County Jail while awaiting his state murder case. His trial was far from ordinary, with Lorenzo choosing to represent himself. During the penalty hearing,
first off, I'd like to thank Mr. Gonzalez, Mrs. Sonority, and everybody else that was part of the defense team. They were absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And to the judge, I want to thank you because you have had incredible tolerance and patience and fairness to me. I'm seeking the death penalty. It's in my best interest, basically because it's a comfort. I'll be living a lot more comfortable than I would in the federal system.
prosecutors presented evidence of the victim's mistreatment and physical overpowered, strengthening the case for the death penalty. Astonishingly, Lorenzo pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder, a move that stunned many. Despite his guilty plea, Lorenzo refused to present evidence against capital punishment. Judge Christopher Sabella sentenced him to death, stating that it was the punishment deserved for the horrific crimes committed.
In the words of Miss Pam Williams, from one Italian to another, ti condanno a morte. That translates to, I sentence you, Mr. Lorenzo, to death. That is the punishment that you deserve for these horrific crimes.
Lorenzo's dark fantasies had come to a chilling conclusion. The bone-chilling tale of Stephen Lorenzo, a man who, despite the shocking nature of his crimes, chose the path of execution. Next, we're diving into the headline-making case of Adam Satterley, whose courtroom outburst in 2016 took an unexpected turn. Get ready for a story of racial tension, contempt of court, and an unconventional resolution. In 2016, 36-year-old Adam Satterley found himself in the Jefferson Circuit Court in Louisville on a bond hearing related to drug charges. The situation escalated when Judge Olu Stevens revoked Adam's bond on methamphetamine charges, signaling his return to jail. As Adam left the courtroom, he shocked everyone with a racial slur aimed at the judge. Judge Olu Stevens was far from pleased with the offensive language. He called Adam back into the courtroom to address the incident.
Before you go, I mean, Sheriff, can you indulge me 1 second?
Yes, sir, of course.
Can you knock on the door and tell the sheriff to bring Mr. Is that guy? Satterley? Bring him back. You just tell the sheriff to bring him back. Oh, Brad, you still have Satterley?
I do.
You bring him back. I apologize. Just give me 1 minute. It won't even take that. Is there something that you wish to say to me?
No, it was my brother.
Oh, was that to your brother? Because
Yes,
I
sir.
heard you say a racial epithet.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, you didn't mean it like
No.
that? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to hold you in contempt of court for having said that.
When asked if he had something to say, Adam initially hesitated, but then claimed it was directed at his brother, not the judge. Judge Olu wasn't convinced and decided to hold Adam in contempt of court for his racial epithet. He sentenced him to 60 days in jail for the disrespectful remark. However, justice would take an unexpected twist. A day later, Judge Olu Stevens extended an unexpected olive branch. He offered Adam a chance to reduce his 60-day sentence to just 1 day if he apologized for his actions. Adam seized the opportunity and apologized, acknowledging that the racial slur was not meant for his brother. While the judge expressed his reservations about the apology, he ultimately accepted it. He acknowledged that using such language in court was unacceptable, but decided to reduce the sentence as a gesture of second chances and redemption. Next, we explore the dramatic courtroom showdown involving Melissa Hardwick, a hearing in a family court that took an unexpected turn. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster of emotions and courtroom drama. Melissa Hardwick found herself in the heart of a family court hearing in Russell and Wayne counties, Kentucky. The reason? A domestic violence order filed by her ex-husband seeking protection from her. As the husband testified, he detailed Melissa's history of mental health issues and arrests.
Any contact with you? Yes, sure. I've taken your statements in your petition as part of your testimony, but I need you to tell me briefly, in your own words, what happened to cause you to ask for a domestic violence order.
Yes, Your Honor. Things have been escalating, I guess, since the first of the year, and Melissa's had a couple MIWs and a couple arrests, and she got out of jail in, I guess, April, and she started. We hadn't really had anything personal up until that point. She got out of jail in April.
As the husband recounted their troubled history, Melissa couldn't contain herself any longer. Interrupting the proceedings, she firmly stated that her personal life and behavior were no one's business. But the judge, Jennifer Edwards, didn't take kindly to the interruption and warned her about the consequences. Undeterred, Melissa continued her tirade, leading Judge Edwards to make a fateful decision. She ordered Melissa's arrest and promptly sentenced her to 10 days for contempt of court. But the drama didn't end there. Just as the sentence left the judge's mouth, Melissa took everyone by surprise. She charged at the judge, throwing herself over the desk with fists clenched. Court security officers acted swiftly to prevent any harm. Melissa's actions left the courtroom in shock. Melissa's violent outbursts didn't go unnoticed. She was sentenced to a staggering 120 days in jail for contempt of court. On top of that, she faced additional charges, including third-degree terroristic threatening, intimidating a participant in the legal process, and resisting arrest. As the dust settled, Melissa's ex-husband's petition for a restraining order was granted by the court, adding another layer to this intense courtroom drama. Next, we bring you the astonishing case of Shane Goldsby, a young man whose life took a dark turn when he found himself sharing a cell with a man who had caused immense pain to his family. Prepare to be captivated. Meet Shane Goldsby, a 26-year-old inmate serving time for stealing a police car and engaging in a wild police chase that ended in an officer's injury. But his journey took an unexpected turn when he was assigned to share a prison cell with Robert Munger, a 70-year-old inmate at the Airway Heights Correctional Facility in Washington State. Munger had been incarcerated for 43 years for heinous crimes involving child molestation and child pornography.
I changed my fucking life in 2019. You know, I gave my life to God, dude. You guys want to put me in this fucking position, dude? To be face to face with this.
Shane's life took a dramatic twist when he overheard Munger boasting about his past crimes. Slowly but surely, Shane pieced together that Munger's victims included his own younger sister, a painful revelation that shook him to the core. Imagine being locked in a cell with someone who had caused such trauma to your loved ones. The situation escalated as Munger continued to taunt Shane about his crimes. Shane struggled to contain his anger, but eventually he reached his breaking point. In a moment of rage, he struck Munger from behind, knocking him to the ground. He then unleashed a violent attack, hitting, kicking, and stomping on Munger. Robert Munger succumbed to his injuries 3 days later, marking a tragic end to this tumultuous prison tale. Shane Goldsby's actions had taken a life, but the story doesn't end there. During his trial, Shane Goldsby expressed remorse for his actions. He openly apologized to Munger's family and admitted that he wasn't in the right state of mind on that fateful day.
Ashamed of my actions. For like this man's death, you know. I was put into his man can't die.
His attorney shed light on Shane's challenging upbringing, including numerous foster homes and drug-related issues with his mother. Despite claims that such prison assignments are prohibited, Shane Goldsby was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years in prison with a total term of 33 years. He was also ordered to pay reparations to Munger's family and faced 3 years of parole upon release. While some argue that taking another person's life can never be justified, others view Shane's actions as those of a protective big brother standing up for his family. And there you have it, the gripping story of Shane Goldsby, a young man who faced an unimaginable moral dilemma behind bars. Remember to subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned.